Hello, hello. I remembered this time. I got it.
Yeah.
I only said 3 words before I had to go back and... Hi, hello. Welcome to Some Other Heroes. My name is Chris Mepham. I am your DM. I am also a geek and an illustrator. I am joined by wonderful, wonderful people who are here to entertain you by playing very silly tabletop roleplay games with you in a homebrew world. I will introduce my friends. First, sadly absent, and to this side is the wonderful Charlie. Charlie is an illustrator and all-round geek and wonderful person. We are sending her all our love, but she's having a week off with her family, so her character has been kidnapped under mysterious circumstances, which I'll get into a little bit more as we go on. Next, Theo.
Hello. I'm Theo. I'm an illustrator and D&D nerd, dice gremlin. Yeah, and I will be playing Eugene.
Amazing. And Wayne.
Hello, I am Wayne. I am an art director and a brand coach, and I will be playing Rock in today's game, as I have in the other games.
And just for reference, I use he him, and Wayne also uses he him. We got to get better at that one, I think.
Oh yeah, I just forgot that. I'm a they them, please.
Yes. There you go. That's all the basic stuff. We'll come into more details and sort of list out other bits and pieces, but I'm actually quite keen to get into today's session. I think everybody else is as well. So, last episode, our adventurers took on a new task to help out the City Watch investigating a series of murders. They undertook the mission, went and met a very lacking in personality sergeant.
Rude. I think the word you're looking for is rude.
His first corporal, a powerful and very direct lizard person, and a few members of his barracks. They assisted in investigating the latest in a string of murders, finding a small gnome who had looked like the very life had been drained out of him, even to the point of taking some of his colour away. Once they had uncovered some clues, in particularly a list of names of possible people who were connected to this person, they decided to go and talk to one of the characters on that list, an information broker, a half-elf named Onar. When they arrived, they found that Onar had been turned into an undead monster, and worst off, had turned one of the other local residents into a monster as well. A fight ensued in which our heroes managed to take down the creature. Inside they found that she had been harbouring some details and a similar note that basically linked her to the other 5 names on the original list that they had found. It was at this point they decided to return to the barracks to share their information with the corporal. On their way back, Aisling, their Satyr Warlock, was mesmerised by a strange presence down one of the alleys. And that is roughly where we'll start. There is no lore or story to attach to what is happening in the fog ring this afternoon. Strange deaths in people's homes, strange monsters on the street. A dense ether fog seems to cling heavily to the buildings, as if the city itself doesn't want to look at these bizarre events. Eugene and Rock. Everything happens too fast and in slow motion at the same time. You see the fog around the end of the alley shift and part as something small bursts from the shadows at nearly inhuman speed. There is a soft collision of bodies as this being bounds straight into your Satyr friend's midriff. Eugene, you feel as Aisling's fingers are pulled from your hand and see the surprise and fear on her face. Then before either of you can react, she is pulled away from you, both up and away into the fog. footsteps hit the cobbles behind you. As you turn, you are faced with a small, unfamiliar figure. Jakey, would you like to describe Garrick for us, please?
Yes, of course. Hello, everyone. Before you see a halfling male with like a shock of blonde golden curls, which he's got tied up into a man bun at present because he's busy doing work stuff. And he's got an undercut and looks quite cool. He's got shiny green eyes, cheeky chappy, mischievous guy.
And what's the first thing you say to these two strangers as you land in front of them?
Oi, I think your problem is my problem, so it should be our problem together, right?
What? Who are you?
Well,
Muted.
What are you talking about? We have to go after our friend. Who are you, anyway?
Garrick, hi, pleased to meet you. So your friend was just taken by my friend, who's not currently my friend because something bad happened.
Well, they're clearly not a friend if they've taken our friend. Right, where are the guards? Where are the guards? Guards!
Oh, they can be busy. The guards are always busy.
Well, what are we going to do? I can't run after that thing up a wall.
No, I don't think you can you? Look at you. Right, so, I mean, we could, but it's quite foggy.
I will turn my back on Garrick and talk to Eugene. Eugene, did you see what happened? What was that?
I didn't see much of anything. 1 minute I was holding Ashley's hand and telling her not to go towards the weird thing, and then there was something grabbed her, and I couldn't. I tried to stop her. You saw me. I tried, right?
Yes, I know. It's not your fault, but we must find some way of going after her. We must find. We need some help.
Hello.
What? Are you still here? What do you want?
Oh well, but the thing that grabbed her is my friend Mia, and I mean,
why did they do that? Why did they take our friend?
Because she's. Oh, it's a really long story. Do we have time for a cup of tea?
No, we don't. Summarize and quickly.
Oh well, right. Okay, see if I could do this quickly. We were kidnapped. They wanted only halflings. Then they only took Mia. Then Mia was kept for 3 days, came back, everything was fine. She was happy with tea, and then they weren't happy with tea, and then they got all spiky and weird, and they kept running away at night. Then I followed them to a very bad place, and then I followed them here, and then they took your friend.
Why didn't you stop them if they were getting spiky and running away at night? That does sound like a tiny little warning sign, no?
Well, yeah, and I was worried, and I followed them and tried to keep an eye on them. And 1 minute they were normal, and the next day they weren't. So I got very confused. Look, it's hard.
How is the keeping an eye on them thing going?
Well, I kept an eye on them as they fell down here and grabbed your friend away. You're the one getting away now.
Any sight of them? No.
Well, it's a bit foggy, mate.
I don't think that's the problem, though, is it? It's probably the jumping over rooftops, kidnapping our friend. That's the problem.
Right. Okay. Well, we can try and fix this together if you like. You seem like a very good person to get things done.
Well, I am quite efficient at things, yes.
That's the impression I get from the off, if I'm honest.
I mean, Rock, maybe he's right. Maybe we should. 3 heads are better than 2.
Mm-hmm. Unless the heads are arguing, in which case maybe not. But let's not argue.
Fine, but we.
I mean,
do
you have any idea? Do you have any idea of where they might have gone?
Well, they seem to like the rooftops. I've tracked them across quite a few over the nights. I don't know.
Wait, you said that you followed them to a bad place. Where
yes.
was the bad place? I mean, I don't really want to go to a bad place, but...
Well, okay, so I've just met you, so I don't know if I can trust either of you, but you seem like nice people, so...
I'm Eugene, by the way, and he...
Oh, hi, Garrick. Shakes it.
It's my second day as an adventurer.
Ah, wow. I've never been an adventurer before, so...
Oh, it's your first day!
Well,
That's so exciting. Yesterday was my first day.
This is most really exciting, and I'm so glad you're getting to know each other. But can you please tell us where our friend has been taken?
Right. We should
focus, Eugene.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, the short answer to that is I don't know, but I could probably look in a few places. It seems conspicuous to stay in this part of the city, maybe. So maybe they're heading for like the Needles or Lowtown.
You said your friend went out at night. Did they go to any specific place, or was it just to general random places?
Well, they went to one specific place that then something horrible happened. I don't know. How do you know Cloud Cairn very well?
I am
It's my
familiar
second
with
day.
this layout.
Right.
Eugene a little less so, although it's very adept at gaining knowledge of places. Although what we could do with is a map, but unfortunately, our friend who has the maps
Our
has been
map
taken.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Well, I know it quite well, so I think my brain serves as quite a good map. But so I don't know if you know about this, but there's been a string of like unpleasant occurrences really recently that
You mean
has got people a
murder?
little spooked. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, we are aware. We have in fact been employed and commissioned to investigate and help solve these, in fact, murders.
Oh, brilliant! Well, I can help you with that because I know who did them.
What?
It's just.
What
Well,
do you
yeah.
mean you know who did them?
Well, my friend who just took your friend is the one who kind of did at least one of them that I know of. So.
I can't say much about your choice of friends.
Oh wait, I told you that they're not my friend at the moment because they've changed.
They got spiky, remember?
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, well, that's perfectly fine then. Obviously.
Yeah.
All is forgiven.
Well, no, I mean it's complicated. Like, there's going to be some therapy after this. I'm pretty sure. Like,
Well, I'm definitely going to need therapy after this, yes. Possibly after this conversation.
I have that effect on people. I think this is why I normally have it over tea. It's quite a good counterbalance to the way that my brain
You
works.
will forgive me if I don't particularly feel like having tea right now. What was your name again?
Garrick.
Garrick? Who?
Goldheart.
1 minute.
Does he do that often?
1 minute.
Yeah. You kind
Okay.
of
You, Eugene, in the ledger that we found with the names.
Yeah.
Your name was in a ledger.
Oh.
Are you a river rat?
Yes. Hello. Yes. I am.
What exactly is a river rat?
Oh well. So, you know how the high and mighty, hoiten-polluten, fluty people can afford to pay people to ship their like really expensive silks and oils and perfumes from one place to another, yeah? Because they've got money.
Yes.
Yeah. So we do that for the people who are not high and mighty, hoiten-polluten, fluting, etc. So
You're a smuggler.
no, not at all. We're mostly above board, mostly.
So why were you listed in this ledger of names? Why was your name there?
Well, it depends on what the ledger pertains to.
It just said river rats and it had your name on it. Also, who was your friend? The one that just stole our friend and has murdered people? That charming fellow.
Mir.
that would be
they're my best friend.
Mir Kilson, I believe.
That's correct. Yes.
Oh, good.
This
So
is a
it
very
appears-
interesting ledger.
It is, isn't it? It appears both of you were in this ledger with no explanation as to why, and now our friend is missing. So, you will forgive me if I don't 100% trust that you are on our side, considering that your friend has murdered people and has stolen our friend.
Well, yeah, believe me, I'm not quite happy with the murder and the theft either.
Oh, well, that's a relief.
Yeah. Right. So what? Who else is in this ledger? Like, is it just a book with river rats and then our names next to it? That's a very
There was
thin
some
book.
There were some other names, but they're not under river rats. It was just the two of you under river rats.
And where did you get the ledger?
That's a very good question. In Onar's shop.
Oh, Onar is in the shop that's just been smashed up by you and your friends, and also dead creatures.
Hey, we didn't smash anything.
How dare you insinuate that?
Okay, well, just commenting on the evidence that's in front of me.
What? Are you an investigator?
Not usually. I'm a river rat.
I think you'll find we are investigators in this
Oh,
particular
right.
case. Right, so can you take us to where you think your friend may have taken our friend, and can you do so quickly?
Well, as I said, I could try a few places, but there's not like one thing that springs to mind.
Could we make a short list, perhaps?
Sure.
Garrick,
Let's
if
start.
you want, you can roll an insight check to kind of gather, based on Mia's recent behaviours,
Where I think they might.
what the most likely behaviour is, what their next move might be.
I'm pretty much guaranteed that they weren't going to head anywhere that we would know anyway, because standard. Okay. I don't think I'm good at insight, and I rolled a 5. So
You don't have a genuine clue. I mean, your broader idea of investigating the needles, heading to Lowtown, going out like into the poorer areas of the city. It's sound, but it's an awful lot of area to cover. Perhaps you need to look at what evidence you guys have between you about what Mia's been up to.
right, okay. So as I mentioned, we can probably do Lowtown and the Needles, but there's a lot of places they could be. So I know that Mir hit Bright Burrows and then they hit Onar. Do you know anywhere else that they went? And is there a pattern to these people that they're going for?
Yes, there was another human.
You know of 4 people.
We know of Bright Burrows. We know of a victim. Hora Iron Kettle, and then Satyr.
Ladonis, Bright Burrows, and obviously
Yes.
Onar as well.
And so the Bright Burrows you know about, and Onar you know about, and then there were 2 other victims which were 2 weeks ago and approximately a week ago, according to our investigation so far.
Yes. Yes.
Are these all people that your friend have murdered?
Well, I know definitely Bright Burrows, and although I'm a bit confused about this whole undead thing, because like Mir definitely killed Bright Burrows and Bright Burrows stayed dead. So I don't know what they did to Onar.
Yeah, Onar was less dead.
Yeah.
Sort of half dead.
Deadish,
Definitely
one
still
could say.
moving.
Yeah.
Eugene, you're trained in Arcana, aren't you?
Yes.
Would you like to make an Arcana check for that one?
Yes. Mm, 10.
10. You can't be certain. It may be a matter of time. Nobody found Onar, and you know that Onar's shop had been closed for more than a week. So it may be a matter of it basically just everyone else was got to first.
Okay.
There is one other lead, but I don't know if that's also a wild rabbit chase. But so my friend, before they got turned into the spiky bad thing that kills people, was kidnapped by a mercenary I know called Cotton.
The rabbit.
Yeah.
Yes.
You've met Cotton. You know Cotton. He's a...
No, we didn't meet them. They were on another list. There's been a lot of lists. So the guards were going to look into them for us, right?
Right. For any particular reason? Because I want to word with him about the fact that he, attempted to kidnap me and then kidnap my friend.
He was on a list with all these other people who were turning up dead, so we thought that there was a connection there.
Oh, well.
And one Farkas Bench as well.
Yes.
Out of that list, 3 of the 5 are now dead.
Okay. I don't recognise Bench, but...
Well, perhaps we should...
You want to make a general intelligence check.
Good luck. Oh, a 19.
Hey.
You know Bench.
Oh, do I? Oh, I
Yeah,
know Bench.
Bench is not as well known as people like Cotton or Onar, but Bench has fingers in most pies. A bit of a
Literally
flim flam man. Sells bad cures and things like that. Apparently does have some magic, but just refuses to use it when he can sell people crappy potions and things.
Right. Okay. Well, I'm not particularly sad about Bench dying, if I'm honest. And if Cotton wants to die too, then I'm quite happy with that. But well, not by my hand. Sorry.
I'd rather people didn't just die, and I'm not terribly comfortable with you approving of the murder of people, but perhaps we could look in on this Cotton if we know where they are. Do you know where they are?
I mean, they're probably gone underground, but there's probably a few strings I can pull to try and get some information about Cotton.
I also think, sorry, Jakey, with that 19, you would probably know that Farkas is actually probably easier to find than Cotton. Cotton has a tendency to disappear when things aren't going his way.
Goes underground.
Rabbits do that, I've heard.
Yeah. Okay, well, yeah, Farkas probably our best bet, probably.
Okay, right. So where do we find him?
Good question. Probably Lowtown or the Needles. And it's just a case of asking around.
Well, let's pick one.
Needles. Let's go to the Needles. We'll work our way up.
Right, let's head to the Needles. Do you know, what does Farkas look like? Who are we looking for? Is there any type of person we should be looking for? Any distinguishing features, perhaps?
Yeah, Farkas is a fairly nondescript, non-binary human. They have a tendency to be. I guess Garrick would know that they're kind of like scruffy, fair-haired. They keep to themselves mostly. They make their money like with herbs and stuff like that. So they can normally be found if they're not at their own shop. They will likely be somewhere along the docks, or they would actually be somewhere like the Needles or Lowtown, trying to sell remedies to people. You do know that their shop is actually in the fog ring, much like everybody else that has been attacked.
So we could go to the shop, but if they're not there, because it's close, it's like 3 streets over, maybe 4, can't remember. And if they're not there, then they'll probably be at the docks or in Lowtown trying to peddle whatever they've got under their coat at that present time.
Very good. Well, let's go to the shop. Eugene, do you think we should go to the shop first?
Yes, I do. And I think we should go now, because the longer we take, the more your friend might get them in the mood for murdering.
Agreed.
Yeah.
No chat.
Fine. We're walking, but I can talk at the same time. I can multitask. You know that, right? Anyway.
Oh, goody. Right, let's move while you multitask and keep talking.
Yes. So, just to explain the wider context of my friend, they are the most genuine, soft-hearted, wonderful person I've ever had the pleasure to meet. And I've met you too. I say non-ironically. And this is very out of character, which is why it's confusing.
You say they were kidnapped?
Yeah, so there was a scuffle. Cotton was there. They attempted to get both of us. They said grab the halflings, but I'm quite nimble, so I nimbled my way out of there. And Mir is less nimble and did not manage to nimble their way out. So they got taken. They were kept for about 3 days, I think, before we found them in some like old farmhouse in the countryside. We had to go and beat up some people, including Cotton, but he got away.
And you say they were normal? They seemed normal to start with.
They seemed shaken. They just spent 3 days, and I don't know what happened to them in that 3 days. Like,
yeah, did they say anything?
No, they just wanted to get home and
I mean,
get safe.
fair enough.
Did
Yeah.
you say you had to beat up Cotton to find out where your friend was?
No, we found out where they were, and then Cotton was there, and so I had to beat him up just a little bit.
So, do we think that this Cotton person has something to do with kidnapping your friend?
Well, Cotton definitely kidnapped my friend because I saw that happen, and then kept my friend in this farmhouse. But it took us 3 days from said kidnapping to said farmhouse because it was a lot of kerfuffle.
Right, so I think we're pretty clear on the fact that Cotton is involved in this, in being sort of one of the perpetrators of all of this chaos.
Yeah, but it's weird that he's on a list that's of dead people.
Yes, I would agree, which is why I'm slightly confused.
Unless he's disposable. Because he's not really a thinker. I know Cotton. He's stupid.
Fair enough. Right. Well, let's just keep going to Farkas's shop and see what we can find.
So
Yeah, okay.
You find it on Broke Bread Alley, which is probably not somewhere you want to be buying baked goods from, actually. It is a dirty, tiny little cul-de-sac off the back of a couple of other bigger streets. The shop, however, is much more pleasant. It's actually a bricks and mortar building. It looks like basically someone has bought off the back of a warehouse and turned part of it into a store. The shop reads Wondrous Sundries and Potions and Phylacteries, and it has well painted, well cared, lots of flowers, just to kind of keep like the sort of the smell of the general alley away. What is interesting is the door is wide open and hanging off of its hinge at the moment.
Right, so that's not a pleasant sign.
Right, so just be careful, because we don't know when this happened. Someone may be in there still.
I'll draw one of my short swords.
And I shall ready my pistol.
I'm gonna let those two go first, and I will follow bravely.
And I am going to edge
Wait! What's the plan here? We're just gonna go in there?
We're going to have a look if anyone's in there first, and then we're going to go in if there's no one in there. If there is someone in there, we're going to try and stop them and find out why they're in there.
Okay.
And also where Farkas is. Whether it's them in there or not in there.
Well, yes.
Or else. Yeah.
That's the ultimate aim.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
Back up against the wall. That's always a great thing, right?
Good. Yes, totally. Right.
Right.
Okay. So I'm going to back up against the wall and kind of edge my way along the front of the shop, rather over dramatically, sort of hiding under windowsills and stuff, so as not to be seen.
Is this Rock's attempt at stealth?
Yes, of course.
Yes, I will have
Garrick.
a stealth check, please.
Garrick will be doing the same, but from the other side. And but not having to duck underneath windows
Because
I do think that's a brilliant sort of image in my mind of this shop front. You've just got the halfling walking along the front, and then dramatically kind of a dragon board. Oh yeah, okay. Stealth would be 19.
19, very good. Garrick, would you like to do stealth as well, please?
23.
Nice.
Wow.
So the two of you stealth. You're both fairly certain that you've not been heard. Eugene, what are you doing whilst these two Mission Impossible it right up to this broken doorway?
I'm gonna try and look through the window.
I think there's this wonderful moment where Garrick is just goes under the windowsill, and and Eugene just walks up and just kind of peers through the glass like this.
I mean, he's gonna do it sneakily.
Fair enough. I'll have a stealth check off of Eugene as well, please.
6.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what happened. You literally you kind of donk.
Yeah, he doesn't quite judge the depth properly, and I think he's being really, really cool about it, and then just smacks his head into the window because he got too close.
And I think your first clue is that little fogging of breath outside of the glass.
When we get to the door, either side of the door, myself and Garrick, Rock is going to look at Garrick and start making random hand movements because he doesn't know what any sort of tactical hand movements actually are, but he's seen people do it, so he's just going to try some and kind of go.
Garrick is translating thieves' cant into things like egg mayonnaise to the right. Please drop my crest.
And then Rock is suddenly going to just kind of go. Ugh. And in your head, Garrick, you hear Rock's voice saying, I'm going to count to 3 on my fingers. When I say 3 and point, we're going to go in and try and surprise whoever's in there, if they're in there. If not, we may look a little dramatic on this entrance, but nevertheless, right, when I do 3, okay? And I'm going to run inside and do a proper roll into the building, up on one knee, and point my gun at everywhere.
I will come back to that. Eugene, you peer through the window as the two of them are getting ready, and you see what is actually it's lots of second-hand stuff, but it's all relatively good quality, like a really lovely bench and things like that. Actual things that you recognise as alchemical goods and herbalism kits and things like that. So even though like this person has a reputation, clearly they do know their stuff, which is a bit interesting. What you see inside though is a lot of things have been turned over in a similar way to you've seen in a couple of other places since you started this investigation. Drawers have been pulled out, emptied on the floor quickly. Bottles and things have been overturned as something is like someone is scrambling around looking for something. What draws your attention though is you see a tiny little figure. Stands probably about a foot tall, with little tiny horns that curl back. A long mustache that looks more like tentacles than like fur. Big gold eyes, ringed with green, with 3 little fingers on each hand, like just picking up and trying to tidy things. And as Rock and Garrick roll in, this thing goes and jumps backwards into a box which rolls over the side and clatters to the back. Don't shoot, I'm unarmed!
What? No, who are you?
Was that another voice in my head? I'm getting very confused.
No, that was whatever. There was a thump behind the bar there. Something fell off. Who are you? Come out, or we will shoot, or whatever he does.
Wait. If I come out, you might shoot. If I stay, you will shoot. This is called entrapment.
I think it's only entrapment if the guard are involved. We're not guard,
That's
so
just murder.
Yes, it's just a plain and simple threat. Now make a decision. Stay in the box and get shot, or come out and tell us who you are and possibly not.
So you see these little tiny clawed fingers lift this thing up, and the same creature kind of peers at you with these eyes that are ringed, these yellow eyes that are ringed with greeny blue.
Do I know what it is?
You may have seen them before. Have a nature check or an arcana check. Of any of you who want to try and work out what it is.
Yeah, can I check if I've
Ooh,
read
a 19.
such things in books?
Yep.
Yeah, a 19.
17.
17? Garrick, are you particularly fussed? Nope. It is a lesser fiend, Quasit from the pocket realms outside normal material space. I think Rocky would just recognise it as a Quasit.
Yeah.
And Eugene, you would know that Quasits are generally summoned to this from the various different demi-planes where fiends and celestials and elementals exist around, drawn into this world, usually as servants or companions, loyal to the person that summons them, providing the deal is good for them. Some of them are good, some of them are evil. Some of them are indifferent. They always have a purpose and always want something back, though. Demons in this world are not outwardly evil. They are just very alien, and they have very different moral compasses to mortal creatures. So you have to be careful with them. But a little one like this, probably not too much of a problem.
I'm just going to say, what are you doing here? Come out properly.
Hiding in the box.
No, come out the box. I can see. What are you doing in this shop?
I work here. What are you doing in this shop? Did you come to steal?
No, we're looking for someone. What do you mean you work here?
Are you a friend of Farkas? Oh, sorry. Do you work for
Farkas? Yes.
Oh, well, indentured doesn't sound very nice.
Oh, it's part of deal.
Oh, well, whatever your contract is, I'm sure. I hope he pays you fairly, though, right? Oh, well, this isn't very nice at all. I'm not entirely happy with your situation.
I didn't think.
I mean, I eat the rats. That helps, and I get to practice magic that my overlord would not let me practice.
I thought we were pretty clear on the fact that Farkas is not a particularly nice man.
Well, yeah, but I didn't think servitude was part of his.
Farkas prefers person, and also they, them, if you please.
Fair enough. Do you know where Farkas is?
Yes. No. Maybe. Fuck. I have an idea.
Where do you think they are?
More than some of us have.
I have information. You want the information? What are you going to give to me?
I'm just going to look at Garrick and go, do I shoot it now?
I mean, it's an option. We'll keep it on the table for later.
Yep. Fair enough.
Yeah.
What's Eugene doing whilst they're having this conversation with the creature?
I think once Eugene has seen that it's not an immediate threat, he feels safe enough to come into the shop. He just wants a close look, really. He's very interested.
So the Quasit kind of puts the box down behind it and climbs on and sits cross-legged. And suddenly they seem to be much... Now there's a possibility that they might get something out of this. They're suddenly filled with a lot more confidence.
Could I just lean down to Eugene quickly and just say, do you know much about these things? What does it want?
I don't know what it wants, but it will give us what we want in exchange for what it wants. So we can strike a deal with it, is what I'm saying.
Gotcha.
It's worth asking the question.
Okay. What do you want for this information that you are holding from us?
Well, generally useful to me, information, magical items, stories, souls. I will always take a soul. My overlord is souls. You have promotion.
Your overlord?
Yes. How to explain? This Quasit comes from dimension where overlord is not nice.
It doesn't sound like your overlord here is very nice either.
Farkas is okay. Doesn't put me on a skewer and leave me there for weeks on end.
Right.
I suppose perspective is everything, yes.
Polite. Keeps end of bargain.
Okay, going back to what you want. What information do you want?
We are looking for a white box. An old white box. If you have seen it and you know who has it, we would like to know.
Hey, I'm going to say this very quietly. Hey, Rock.
Yes.
Doesn't Aisling have a weird white box? But I don't think we should tell him that, should we?
No, but we could tell him that perhaps we have seen one.
Yeah, but then we'd have to tell him where.
Or we could tell him that we'll bring it to him if we find our friend. No, but then he'd know she's got it.
And what if she doesn't want to give up the box?
And what's in the box?
What's in the box?
What's in the box? What's in the box?
Garrick, are you standing right next to them whilst they're having this?
Yeah, I can hear everything.
Yeah.
No, I'm talking very quietly.
Yeah, no, he's been standing eavesdropping over everything.
Yeah, I'm very small. People don't realise that.
I'm fully aware he's eavesdropping on everything, and I am completely ignoring the fact that he's just listening to
Eugene has no idea.
Yeah.
He's listening.
First, what's in the what is this white box? What's in it? Why do you need it?
I do not know. Overlord is very interested in it. If I find information, I might get promoted. Then not be Quasit anymore. Might be less a demon.
I'm just going to hold my finger up 1 minute and just say to both of them, even though I'm to Eugene only, if the Overlord wants the box, I'm going to go with not giving it the box.
Yeah,
But-
he doesn't sound very nice.
No, but this guy's got the information.
Yeah, but maybe there's something else we can give him. He said he wanted stories. You're good at stories. You got loads of stories, right?
I am very good at
That's
stories.
like your thing.
Also, he said magical items. Do you have anything magical
Um,
that you're willing to part with? He says
I
furiously,
have
looking
some
through his
magical
inventory.
bread.
What does it do?
Oh, it's like healing. It heals you. My sister bakes it.
Well, that's rather handy. Anyway, back to this. Garrick, do you have anything you could trade with him?
Nothing magical. I don't really touch the magic stuff. It's addictive and makes you go all weird. No offense.
Hey, I take offense to that. I'm not weird, am I?
No, you're not weird at all.
Thank you.
Don't listen to him. I think he's an unsavoury type.
I'm quite unsavoury. You're correct. I'm going to walk over to the Quasit and be like, hi. Do you have a name first of all?
No.
Okay, that's fine. It's fine. Names are only given to us. They're gifts, aren't they?
I have a name, but I don't give it to people because names have power, you see, and that's how I got in this trouble in the first place.
Right. Okay. Well,
That makes perfect sense.
I don't have anything I can trade with you.
Right.
But what I can do is I can hook you up with some people, right? And they have quite a network of information. So it's like a gateway to all the info you might need.
I like your candor, and I like the direction you are going. However, I need something more tangible to take back to my boss.
Which boss?
Yes. One of them.
What about what stories do you mean when you say you will trade for stories?
Stories are useful because stories hold truths, you see.
That is
Also, if you come across
true.
Fae, when we're trading with the Fae and their realms, when they occasionally need appeasement, we can trade a story rather than lives.
Well, I think you will find one of the greatest storytellers to ever come through Cloud's Cairn. So perhaps we can strike a bargain if we exchange a story.
The Quasit looks quizzical, but doesn't seem to be objectionable to the idea.
What stories capture your imagination then, young Quasit with no name?
Stories with lessons. Stories where things unexpected happen. Or stories that tell us secrets of the world around us. What's up?
Well, perhaps I could tell you the stories of the secrets of how this universe came to be.
There's they're not very good at hiding their emotions. They're quite a passionate creature in general, and there's a definite twitch of interest.
And I'll bend down and sort of whisper to them as if it's some kind of secret and just say, the stories that we know as Dragonborn.
I will take one of those stories, and then I will tell you the story of what happened.
Will you tell us where we can find Farkas, then?
Yes.
I'm just going to turn my back on him and look at Garrick and Eugene and just go, is there any trick to this? I'm not selling my soul or anything, am I? I've heard about stuff like this.
I think so. I think you're fine.
Oh, okay.
I think, Eugene, with what you rolled earlier, I think you remember that they are obliged. A soul is worth nothing if it's stolen. It has to be given freely, otherwise it becomes tarnished.
That's lovely.
So, in this particular instance, you're probably safe.
Probably. I love it when the DM says probably.
Is that you?
Yeah. Right. Okay, so I'm going to just push Eugene and Garrick back a little bit to give myself some space.
Oh, Garrick's going to run all the way around and sit cross-legged next to the closet like this.
Tell us a story, Rock.
Amazing.
Amazing, I love it.
So Rock is going to... I'm going to take my coat and fling it open, revealing the inside, which is in sort of emerald patterns, emerald green patterns. And I'm going to find a small anything that's been knocked over, a stool or a box or whatever, and I'm going to strike a sort of heroic pose with one leg up. And then I shall take my flute out, and I shall play my flute for a few seconds to kind of silence the room and to make everybody get into the vibe. And then what I shall do is I will start to tell the story of creation as we know it from the dragons. And I shall tell of how the dragons and the power of the dragons gave birth to this universe. And I shall tell the stories that I heard as a young dragonborn. And I shall tell of how the creatures came to be. And I shall tell about how the continents came to be. And I shall tell about how the words that the dragons used have power and still to this day have the power of creation. And as I tell the story, I will use silent image. And I shall use it to create a sort of illusionary tableau around us as I tell the story. And I shall tell all of this and tell of the conflict of the dragons and of Tiamat and of all the adventures that I heard as simplified stories of all of those legends. And I shall build it to this crescendo where Rock will perform in his best, most elaborate thespian voice telling of the magic of the dragons. And I shall end it with the silent image moving around me as if a flying dragon. And then I shall stand and pause and wait for applause, obviously.
I would like you to roll a performance check for me with advantage.
Well deserved.
22.
Oh! The closet is enraptured. And I think both you
That was
and
Eugene,
Garrick
yeah.
are as well. I think There's just like this. There's nothing but they're just watching you this whole time, watching the dancing image of these dragons and the world forming and the first contact with the primordials and the great wars and everything that happened and the lost names and when you finish, there is a round of applause from your 3-person audience. The Quasit stands up, puts their hand forward, grips yours. Deal is sealed. And there's a poof of magic around them for a second. I am now obliged to answer your questions about your friend and finding my master.
Well, that's very good to hear.
So, this, and he points around to the damage done, that I am trying to clear up at the moment, was done by Cotton.
I really hate that little rabbit.
I heard he's quite big.
Yeah. He's a little person though, you know.
Oh,
like,
I see what you mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Cotton was looking for something. My master kept a ledger of their dealings, and recently they had got involved with Cotton and some others to try and perform a task for a mysterious benefactor who was offering them a lot of gold and a lot of influence in the city. Would have got all of them out of the fog ring somewhere else. Unfortunately, I was not present for the details of what they were doing, but I know that both my master and Ona were the masterminds behind what they were doing, which means that magic and information was being used.
And so was Cotton the go-between for whoever this bigger sort of power is?
Cotton was to get them the subjects they needed to try out whatever they were doing.
Were they halflings by any chance?
Oh, did not know this, but would make sense.
Why would that make sense?
Yeah.
You halflings are hard to kill.
That's very true. We are quite, well.
And other small and easy to catch when you can. Physically a little weaker than other races.
All right, you started on a high and ended on a low.
Rock's going to snigger a little bit after that.
Going after a Dragonborn would not be wise. Most Dragonborns are martially trained from birth.
That is very true.
Whatever they were doing was magical, so halfling makes sense.
So they magically altered my best friend and made them into a nasty person.
And they've taken my best friend. Well, one of them. Can nudge Eugene a little.
Who's the other one, Eugene?
What? Sorry?
What? I was just asking who the other best friend is.
What?
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Okay. Never mind.
Obviously.
So, Cotton came here spoke with Farkas. Then the two of them left, and shortly afterwards, as Cotton came back, pushed me aside and went through the place looking for all of my master's notes on whatever they were doing.
Did Cotton find them?
Yes. Book. And he kind of points to the book that I think one of you is holding at the moment. Much like that book.
Right, and where did Cotton go?
Couldn't follow and bound to the shop, but he went back out the streets. So if you find Cotton, you will find Farkas. And Cotton, if he's active, is very easy to follow.
Yeah, he kind of leaves a trail, and I kind of like point towards everything that's around me.
Yeah, now I have to clean up. Rude.
Oh, I mean, I would offer to help, but we've got people to find, and
No, it's fine. Oh, although, if you blew me up and I died and went back to the other place, if somebody else were to accidentally end my contract early by destroying my physical form, I wouldn't have to do this. And I have something to take back to my robots.
Okay.
We're not doing that. We're not. Sorry.
Fine, I'll clean the
Right,
shop then.
You'd rather die than clean the shop.
Okay, so I don't die. My physical form is destroyed and I return to my plane of existence.
That's kind of death, really.
Not for me.
I thought you didn't like it there. It sounds pretty horrible being on a skewer.
Yeah, but I really don't want to clean the shop, and at least I've got something to give my boss now.
Right, so I'm definitely sure that cleaning the shop will not be as bad as being put on a skewer. I'm utterly convinced that is the case.
Fine. I mean, help her quaz it out. I mean, just like, I can get a promotion. Then I wouldn't have to be summoned as a quasit anymore.
I mean, what would you give your overlord?
This is my help. I'm going to put a few books back on the shelf.
I'll take it.
Which, let's be honest, is only so that Eugene can have a quick look at the books as
Yeah,
he
he's
puts them back on the shelf.
gonna.
They are in different languages. Some of them you recognise. There's a couple of things on Elvish concepts of approaches to natural magic. So the basics for druidic magic, which is not something that you do, but you've probably read a couple of times on how it works. There is also something on applications of alchemy, which is in Trader's Tongue or Common. And then there's something in a language you don't personally speak, but you recognise the runes as being giant in nature.
Okay. Is there any books about, mysteriously turning people into undead monsters?
An investigation check. Have a look.
There's one called How to Create a Spiky Heart.
18.
18. There is nothing specifically on what you have discovered or what you found out may or may not have happened to Mir. But what you kind of gather in a looser sense is if there is someone in this area of the city who would know the rudimentaries to do it, from the people you've met so far, there are two people you would trust to be able to do it. You yourself and the person who owns this shop.
Right. We definitely need to find Farkas, because I feel like he's the only one, as far as I'm aware, that has the knowledge to be able to do whatever they're doing to these people. That or me, and it wasn't me. I mean,
well, no,
obviously.
you've been with me for a whole 2 days,
and I wouldn't do that.
Well, obviously, Eugene.
So I have to kill Farkas. That's what we're saying.
Well, we don't have to kill him. We
need
just
to
have to
find
find out
Farkas.
what happened. And
Oh,
what
if
he's
you
done
kill
to these
Farkas,
people.
then I go back. That works too.
Look, there's going to be no killing. Hopefully.
Can I just ask, are all halflings this murderous? I'm just checking. I don't know many halflings.
I think that's quite a broad generalisation, but we like to stick our pointy thing. No, this is going somewhere weird. If someone wrongs us,
You're good with murder, then, if they wrong you.
No, murder. Well, if they've been, they took my best friend away.
Yes, I know. Your best friend took our best friend away, but we're not going to murder them if we can help it.
You were looking to.
I can trade in a couple of curses, or I could give people smallpox if you like.
Not right now, thanks.
Are you always here?
Yes. I have a little curse that makes people itch. Oh, there's one really nasty one. You'll love this one. Every time you go to bed, both sides of the pillow are just too warm to be comfortable.
You are a monster.
Oh, sir.
You are. That's too far. A line too far. Right. Well, I think everything seems to point to Cotton and Farkas. So if we can find Cotton, if you could do your underworldy things that you seem to be so good at, perhaps you can help us find Cotton.
I think I can. Cotton's trail is easy to find, I'm sure. You Quasit man person thing. Are you amenable to other people coming to talk to you for information trades? Of course.
Sure. Why
Would
not?
Fox be happy with it?
What I do in my business and my time is my business.
That's what I assumed. Okay.
He's put
thanks,
no
thanks.
gears on me to that end. Possibly fall short-sighted on his part.
Yeah, sounds like it.
Let's hop on then, shall we? After
Let's.
Cotton.
Let's come along, Eugene.
Just as I'm leaving the shop, I'll find like a little wooden something nearby, signpost, whatever, and just scribe some thieves' cant that says like information trade, Quasit, careful deals, something on there, just for
Nice.
signposting.
And just like that, Garrick sets up the new information lord of the Fog Ring.
As we walk out, I'm just going to say to both of them, enterprising little weirdos, aren't they?
Yeah, you got to be careful. Got to go in with your wits about you, or you'll get your wits taken away.
But that could have been a healthy warning before we went in. But there we go.
But I didn't know. Anyway, let's find Cotton. Is there evidence of an angry rabbit folk having passed this way?
Are there any aggressively attacked giant carrots?
or little poo
Wow.
pellets that we
Wow.
can
Or
follow?
just like the tops of carrots, like left.
Wow, you
Little
guys
rabbit pillars.
are speciesists. Wow, the lot of you.
Just
Wow,
to be
species
fair,
generalists.
terrible behaviour.
To be fair, at the described size of Cotton, I'm not sure I want Cotton leaving pellets.
Poo pellets. No.
I'm going back on that idea totally.
Yeah, giant cowpat sized, double eaten
Oh,
pellets.
no. Right, no, I'm
Okay,
going
anyway.
to stop that now. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Not canon.
Not canon. So you find yourself back out on this strange alley which leads onto a bigger street. What are your thoughts? What would you like to do to try and track down this rabbit? Do you want to try and just see if you can track him the old-fashioned way, or did you want to try and get hold of some people and see if he's been seen around the city?
Garrick's instinct is to do the people thing more than the footprint thing. He's not really au fait with that. So he'd probably just, in his head mind, look for the next nearest person he knows he can trust and where they usually are. See if he can get some bearings.
Well, you're not too far from the riverfront, and the river rats were still working today. So, at least you can lean on your family if you need to. What are Eugene and Rock's thoughts at the moment?
Well, we did ask the guard to look into Cotton and see if they could find him, right? Maybe we check in with Corporal was it Corporal Tyree?
Yeah, Tyree, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think.
Or is that going to take too much time?
Yeah, it depends. If it's easy to get to the corporal, to check in with the corporal, then I guess we probably should, in case they have one of the guards knows an area that Cotton's in. But
Yeah.
if it's going to be a hassle, I think Rock is happy to let Garrick do his thing.
So the two places that Tyree's most likely to be are Soot Smoke Way, where the gnome was murdered, or the barracks themselves. The other place you could try, of course, is the flower shop, where you fought the husks.
Chris, is Tyree one of the corporals that I know? That I chatted
yeah,
to?
I mean, everybody knows Tyree in this area. Tyree is a large female lizard folk. She's considered trustworthy, but very by the book.
Yeah, no, I think when I went to visit Bright Burrows, she was the one that I didn't speak to.
That's right. I think you actively avoided her just because you didn't want to get too wrapped up in what the watch would
By
do.
the book, yeah. Okay.
So the three of you are sort of mulling over your ideas.
Yeah, I mean, I think if your contacts are nearby, then perhaps we should just go and talk to them, and then if we have no luck with that, we can try and check in with the guard.
Yeah, let's head to the river. I mean, my barge might be nearby. I don't know. They were working today, and I did tell them I was ill, so maybe I'll have to a little bit. But yeah, it'll be fine. We'll be fine. We'll go there first.
Okay.
Also, when you see them, please don't mention murderous halflings. Please. I haven't quite told them what's going on with Mir because they'll worry, and I don't really want to have to deal with that as well as what I'm dealing with.
Okay.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
I think with that, Garrick leads them towards the docks. You find the docks are fairly busy this time of day. There is a number of barges of varying sizes and shapes. Most of them are built for ferrying cargo, but a couple of them have been adapted for ferrying people. The ship you find it's smaller than most, but it's not the smallest. It has seen better days, but it's still loved. It's tatty around the edges, but it is clearly somebody's pride and joy. It has someone has very delicately touched up the paint recently around the sides and the back, and you can see on a brass plate that is quite clearly buffed on a daily basis. It says the Osprey. On the actual top deck of the barge, there are a number of people. Currently, they are unloading a load of mahogany boxes, all of which sealed with a symbol that Rock would probably recognise as being one of the lesser houses of the Empire, the Mystrium Empire. Clearly goods. It looks like teas being purchased and bought in from that area, you kind of, maybe you would guess, Garrick, and you wouldn't probably know this for certain, they're probably close to the end of their natural sort of shelf life, so they've been got cheap, which is why you guys are ferrying them at the moment as opposed to one of the bigger barges. On the deck is a large ocelot-looking tabaxi, wearing tight-fitting clothes, who clearly takes very great pride in her appearance. And with her is a dark-skinned half-elf, which Eugene particularly would recognise as a half-night elf. White hair, quite closely cropped, fairly practical looking accoutrement and things like that. And they're the one that spots Garrick immediately and just waves gently, and then prods the other one, who just leans over her shoulder and gives a little, and then goes back to doing what she was doing.
Garrick will run towards the barge, doing a little sort of like greeting whistle that sounds a bit like a ship's foghorn or something like that. And
and as you do, there's you guys watch as a hatch opens up and a black feathery head pokes up, and in a loud voice opens their beak and whistles exactly the same sound back at Garrick, and then clambers up, and it's the biggest kenku you've ever seen, like quite heavy-bodied, but quite solid looking person who just cackles in various voices until Garrick gets closest, and then in common you hear them say, "We thought you were not coming in today."
but yeah, it's a long story, and I'll fill you in. So Garrick will make a point of going and like greeting every single one of them with a hug or like something affectionate. Look, these are my new friends. This is Rock. This is Eugene. They're lovely, lovely peoples. Cotton. Have you bared down on Cotton? He's kind of important right now.
The three of them kind of give each other a look, and then look back to you and say, "Yes, we did see Cotton actually, and we asked Ilsia to get a message to you, but she has not been able to find you all day."
Yeah, I've been busy, and I'm also quite hard to find, but I don't want to be found.
This is true. And the Kenku will hold out his hand to you both and goes, "I am Fletch. These are Lavender." And he points to the Tabaxi and Nim, the half night elf.
Sorry.
Yeah, Lavender kind of leans forward and she takes your hand, Rock. She kind of goes, "Oh, aren't you a handsome one?"
Rock is very, very quickly just going to say, "Well, how strange. That's exactly what I was about to say to you."
She gives you a long wink and she goes, "Oh, and you're very cute." And she kind of ruffles Eugene's hair a little bit. "Oh, in a few years you are going to be beautiful."
Thank you. I'm Eugene. It's nice to meet you. It's my second day as an adventurer.
Well, you wear it very well. Is this important flirting, or can we get back to the point at hand? Says
I think all
from behind.
Apparently, all of Lavender's flirting is important flirting. Nim, you know this. But yes. I think Rock might be one of our new brothers-in-law very soon.
Fletch, who obviously seems a little bit more serious, kind of folds his arms and goes, "From what we understand, Cotton has headed to the Needles. There is something there that he has been hiding. We found his hiding spot. We were down there this morning, and luck was on our side. We caught him outside urinating against the wall. And
standard.
Then he ran for it, as he does."
Was he with Farkas at all? Farkas from the Fog Ring.
There's an exchange of kind of, we didn't even know they knew each other.
Yeah, no.
But it doesn't surprise us. I mean, Farkas would need muscle on occasion.
Okay, so they were in the Needles, they scarpered. Do you know where they went?
I will draw it on a map for you.
Excellent.
And he disappears below. You are left with the crew for a few minutes whilst they
Cup of tea?
I should.
I'd love tea.
I shall put the kettle on, says Nim, and disappears. Wonderful. I'm famished, and I really want to get to know these two very much better. Please sit down. Take a load off. And you are bought I'd say some of the new samples actually, and Imperial tea is still regarded as some of the finest. And they make you a pot of lavender and black tea, which peppery but nice and light. And the four of you wait whilst Nim is prepping some bits and carries on working a little bit. And shortly afterwards, Fletch just reappears from the top of the deck, comes out holding a map, rolls it out and puts it on the table. We were coming along the stream here. We were setting up for the delivery in this warehouse here in the Needles. And the rabbit in question was here. He points to what looks like an old abandoned warehouse. Interestingly, we told Ilse and she asked us to just leave it with her. But we are glad that you saw you first.
Who is Ilse?
Right. Ilse kind of
She's our
runs the
mother.
river rat. Yeah, she's our mother, basically. Yeah.
Nim reappears at this sort of point in time, and she kind of goes, "We're a family of, as we are a family of orphans, as there are many of us, and Ilse is the oldest and also the wisest, so she is our mother, and also our boss."
Yeah. Interesting. She told you to leave it though, unless she specifically meant for me to. Anyway. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Thanks, guys.
If you need us, you know where to find us. We have one more delivery, and then we will be turning in for the day.
Maybe could you, after the delivery, moor up in the Needles, and then if we need backup, I'll just run for the river.
There's an exchange of looks between them. I mean, she's running very low. I'm worried she's taking on water. And then you hear, we'll have to check. It is all good, and and yes, I think perhaps she's taken some damage, and she needs to be in the Needles where the shore is lower for a little while.
Exactly. Precisely what I was thinking. My poor baby, and he strokes the boat.
As you're about to sort of step off the boat, I think Eugene and Rock, you're close enough to hear this, although it's not intended to you. Lavender just grabs Garrick by the arm very gently. Bring them home.
I'll do my best. Right, to the Needles.
Indeed, to the Needles.
So the Needles is in the south of the city, just beyond the main city wall. It's a small area that grew and grew and grew as the less financially capable people of the city needed a space to live. It is much like the Fogrin in terms of its appearance. Lots of ramshackle, small buildings and things, but it has, because it's more established and it's less transitory, it has had chance to settle, and people have turned it into some very nice spaces. There isn't the hugest amount of money, but people are proud, and generations share space within the area. Garrick, of course, grew up in the Needles, so knows it very well, and knows the shortcuts to get through the city directly there. You end up tumbling onto some carts, passing a few coppers here and there to kind of ease the way with some certain merchants who are going different ways. And at one point, even knock on the door of a very friendly, very old bugbear who lets you just walk through his house in exchange for a little bit of a chat. And you find yourself at the dockfront in the Needles, near some newer built warehouses that have been erected by people in the Needles for storing goods for distribution amongst themselves. And I think that is a really good place for us to take a quick break. So, awesome. We will be back in 10 minutes. So we'll be back about 4:30. In the meantime, we have our break video as normal. Please if you're sticking around, do consider supporting some of the people we talk about. We try and big up some of the wonderful people that we associate with. Some of our fellow D&D podcast and stream enthusiasts are in there. Some artists that we love as well, and also the map people who provide and create the maps that I use in this game as well. So if you can just spare some time, just sort of give them a like, a share, just check out their stuff. We know that they would very much appreciate it, and we appreciate them as well. So, but we will be back in 10 minutes. Just going to find the intermission. Get up, stretch, drink some water, and we will see you shortly. we are back, and I remember to put my mic on straight away as well. That's key. I'm getting better at this. I am such a professional. Thank you very much for sticking with us. We are just in the middle of an investigation, having tracked down what probably has happened to the victims in this murder mystery. Our heroes have decided to track down the last 2 people on the list of names they found. Coincidentally, very tied into their new friend Garrick's problem with his best friend. To track down this mysterious character, they have gone to the Needles, a rundown area of the city where the poorer people have a tendency to live, and found themselves outside a dilapidated warehouse. The 3 of them stand on the docks a few feet away from this empty-looking building. What would you like to do?
Garrick is going to draw his short sword.
Wait, what's the plan? Do we have a plan?
Wait,
I think it's good to have a plan.
Yeah, is he inside? Do we know?
No, this is what Fletcher said. This is where they followed him to. It's likely he's inside, but I do think we should probably do a stealth reconnaissance. And
A what now? Sorry?
a sneaky look
Okay.
before we dive in. Kind of what me and Rock were doing at the shop.
Oh, that's what you were doing.
Just
Okay.
trying not to draw attention to ourselves before we want to draw attention to ourselves.
Says the giant
Got it.
white dragonborn in the coat.
I don't see your point. Right, well, are there any windows that I can see?
Make an investigation check or a perception check, whichever you would prefer.
Ooh, natural 20.
There aren't windows, it's that sort of warehouse, but what you do find with a natural 20 is there are a number of loose boards that you think you can probably push to one side. You need to get closer, but you can push to one side and get a look inside before you have to go in. There's only one main entrance and exit that you can see. Most of these, there's no fire concern in this particular part of the city. Most of the buildings are built right on top of each other, if not into one another. You get the impression that when materials are needed, they are often taken from buildings that have been abandoned or not needed anymore. So,
Okay, I'm just going to say to my companions, I'm going to try and have a look through.
Wait, I've got an idea. Why don't we we could send in Pocket?
Of course, your genius little companion. Yes.
What? What's a pocket?
He.
I mean, I know what a pocket is. I've got many, but
Oh no, this is a much more important pocket.
Okay, I will summon Pocket.
how does the summoning of Pocket look? Because I don't think you've actively...
So Eugene will sit and he kind of makes some symbols with his hands in the air, and it starts to kind of glow purple around him, and then a little puff of purple smoke kind of appears on his shoulder, and you see coming out of the smoke emerges a small grey and white rat with purple eyes.
And you've seen rats, and you know rats around the city, and they have a tendency to be smart. This rat looks at you with a level of intelligence that seems otherworldly.
that's one smart rat.
He says thank you.
I will just nod my head to Pocket.
Pocket nods back and then scampers onto Eugene's palm, waiting for instruction.
Okay, buddy, it's a simple reconnaissance mission, just like last time.
Stealthy reconnaissance.
I mean, he's a rat. How do you be unstealthy as a rat?
There is
Anyway.
a quizzical look on the rat's face when it kind of looks at you.
I've known some loud rats. Okay.
This is our new friend, Garrick. Yeah. So you're gonna go. It just like last time. You're gonna go in through the hole, see what you can see. Yeah. Just be careful. I don't know what's in there, but we've been dealing with some pretty weird stuff. So just look out for spiky halflings, I guess.
And angry rabbits.
And a giant rabbit, yes.
Yes. Oh, yes. The giant rabbit. That's what we're after.
And Ashling. Keep an eye out at Ashling.
Yes. And if you see Ashling, yeah, let us know.
They give you a look initially to say, as if to say, "What have you gotten yourself into this time?" And then, and then they kind of acknowledge that this is what they need to do, and they kind of like, because you guys have a slight connection. There's a little bit of confusion about giant rabbit. And you pop Pocket down the floor, and off they scamper exactly where you need them to go. And Rock, do you point out where you've spotted the way?
Yeah, I'll just say I was going to have a look through those boards there. I think there's a hole we can move the board.
And Pocket finds that bit and kind of does that rat thing where you kind of like see them kind of much tighter space than they really should be able to. You see the back legs scrabble for a second and go pop, or they disappear inside. And you wait. Eugene, do you want to do anything to try and connect to Pocket?
Yeah, so I will. So I can see what he's seeing, but I won't be able to communicate with you guys. So like, I'll do the thing.
Yes, like you did before. Very good.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
So Eugene like sits back down again, and he sort of gets comfy, and you see him sort of concentrate, and then he kind of sits up straight and like kind of unnaturally straight, and his eyes kind of go sort of white, milkish white, and he's kind of like not there anymore.
Rock's going to just stand behind Eugene, sort of on guard, basically.
Garrick will go sit in front of Eugene, cross-legged.
That's still going to be terrifying when he comes back.
Back a little bit. Back up.
Eugene, your senses kind of fly straight forward, and you find yourself behind those strange rat senses that you've got vaguely used to by now. It's very dark inside, but Pocket can make out enough details. The warehouse is definitely abandoned and has been some time. There's broken wooden boards all over the place, the remnants of rotten crates, what looks like a cart with like mouldy old straw, and the wheels have been taken off of 2 of the axles, so it's kind of just like wedged against the wall. Like if anyone tried to move it, it would fall over. Other than that, there's a small office at the back, but no sign of anyone else immediately.
Can I do a little rat sniff around and see if I can smell anything?
Make a perception check with, I think, with advantage for rats.
Yeah.
Smell, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is correct. Oh, I got a natural 20.
Nice. So there are newer smells in this area that come through, and Pocket. The way that rats smell is in 3 dimensions. We pick up scents and things like that. To Pocket, it's like this smell was here. It belonged to this shape of person, and it moved through this way. And with a natural 20, you pick up the details of fur and musk and sweat. And humanoid sweat as well, and things like that. So there have been 4 people brought through here, and just the vaguest hint of something familiar, floral, almost clean, like the sort of scent of flowers on the breeze. And I think with a natural 20, Pocket recognises Ashling's smell in this warehouse.
But there's nothing left behind. No clues. No.
They all seem to move towards the back of the warehouse where the office is.
Right.
Also,
Okay.
there is the smell of blood.
Okay. Pocket will move tentatively towards the office at the back, see if he can see anything. Like, is there windows into the office, or is it just a building, like a room with a door?
Yeah, it's like an internal building. It's not so much a window as a hole for people to look through.
Right.
Like no glass and things like that. And there's remnants of... I think Pocket can make out the tops of the remnants of broken cabinets and things. And as he gets to the corner nearest the where the entrance is, you find a body.
Yeah. Oh.
Laying on their back, good solid leather boots, a familiar uniform, a tin hat, which is rolled aside. This is the body of a guardsman.
It's not the one we met with the cool tin hat.
No.
Okay.
It's a human, not one that you have met before, but possibly one that was tailing.
Right. Okay. I would like to go back to Eugene.
Okay. Snap back. What do you tell Pocket to do before you come back?
Just hang out here, and if anyone comes back, then you just be nonchalant. Lean against the wall or something.
Very good.
Yeah, that's always a good. That's my go-to. Look casual.
Rat casual. I love that. You wake up with Garrick about 3 inches from your face.
I told him to move back.
Has he been there the whole time?
Yes.
Okay, that's weird. But more important things. Why am I always the one that finds the bodies? What?
Body?
Wait, what body?
Body?
There's a body in there. A dead one, I mean. A guard, I think. A guard. They had a hat.
Okay.
Well, this wasn't like Mir.
No. Unidentified body. There's no one else in there, but I think they were here recently.
Right.
And
okay.
I could smell like maybe 4 people. And I think one of them was definitely Cotton. It was very furry and dirty.
Yeah, that's definitely Cotton.
Is there any sign of Aisling?
Yes, it's nice smell. Aisling. It smelled like Aisling, like flowers.
Right, okay, well, we have to go inside then and check, and we must find
But
out.
I mean, I don't think they're in there, but the dead person is.
Yeah.
Yes, but we must find out what. There may be a clue in there as to where they've gone. We have to find them. If Aisling was in there, there might be a clue.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes, but we should also not be found in there with the dead body of a guard by another guard. That would lead to assumptions and bad things.
Right, so we have to do this stealth reconnaissance.
Exactly.
Yes, although we were hired to investigate the murders, so we do have some contacts with the guard if anything happens. So I think
we're in the Needles.
You should probably stay a little out of sight in case, but anyway, we must have a look though.
Yeah, guards in the Needles are less ask questions and more do actions first.
Right. Okay, fair enough. But we still have to have a look. So
yes,
I left Pocket in there on guard. So
do you think Pocket could maybe be out here and do a large squeak if there is any guards approaching?
yeah, but I mean, we have to go in there so I can get it. Well, I mean, I could go back in the brain thing, but it takes a while. And if you've got to sit that close to me, I don't really feel comfortable doing that again.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't mean to invade your personal space. It's just it's really fascinating to watch. It's quite fun, really.
Mhm.
Anyway,
Perhaps Pocket could just stand outside the door without you doing the thing, and alert us by just running in if a guard is coming or something. Because I think we kind of need you to be with us, completely with us when we're in there. I think with your sharp wits.
right, shall we get to the door and be
Yes.
quiet and sneak in? Yeah.
Yes, that. I'm going to go ahead and go straight to the door. I will try and listen at the door first, or look through a gap or anything first.
Yep, make a perception check.
Oh God, I can't believe that. Another natural 20.
Mm.
I'm going to take those dice away from you.
I'm loving my dice.
You hear the echo of a mostly wooden, like empty room. There's like creak of wind through the rafters and things like that. A sort of like a patient squeak every once in a while, as poor Pocket is just, oh goodness sake, taking forever.
With that, can I tell if the door is like locked or whether it's easy to get in?
Yeah, I think so. I think you can see that the door has not been like locked for a long time. Like the keyhole is rusted over. The handle is in really poor condition. It's barely hanging onto its hinges. It could be easily opened. You could just push it.
Can I just push it open?
Very gently. It's a bit of a squeak, I think, but with that natural 20, I will allow it to roll over, that you kind of catch that and you kind of quietly, before it makes too much noise. But yeah, you are face to face with pretty much the room I described, Theo.
Can I see anybody at all, or anything that
You can see a body.
I can see a body?
See a body.
But there's nothing that Pocket has missed that I can see from the door. Like,
You'd need to go in and have a closer look around the lot of you, but from where you are at the moment, even with that roll, you can't see anything that Pocket did not see.
okay, I'm going to just gesture to the others, and I'm going to go in.
Nice.
Yeah,
Are you guys just walking in, or are you trying to be stealthy?
Garrick is definitely trying to be stealthy.
Roll me a stealth check, please.
Rock
Okay.
is walking in.
Yeah, Eugene's not trying to be stealthy.
16.
16? Lovely. You two kind of just stumble in your normal way, walking through. I mean, you're not particularly loud people. It's not like you're wearing heavy metal armor or anything. But
No, but I'm not sneaking in or anything.
But there is a point where you kind of look over, and I think there's as you kind of realise that Garrick is right next to you, but you didn't hear him move up to you.
Rock's just going to be like that. Would you stop sneaking up on me?
Shh! What?
You shush.
It's so loud.
Right, come on.
So you have this big empty room, a body, a rat that is kind of just looking at the lot of you, and an office.
Garrick's going straight for the office.
Excellent.
I'm going to go and have a look at the body.
Okay, and what does Eugene do?
Eugene's gonna go ask Pocket to wait outside the entrance and alert us somehow if someone approaches.
Pocket does the closest thing to a rat salute, and then bounds off to the entrance, looking for any trouble that might be coming. We'll do Garrick first. You get to the office. There's furniture in it. It's seen much better days. Probably been left behind because it's not really in any fit state to use in anyone's home. Would you like to have a look around it?
I would like to do a shifty to see if there's anything pertinent.
Make an investigation check, and I will come back to you for the roll. Rock, you don't need to roll to see what killed the guard. They have a huge sword wound, like a double-handed sword, straight through the chest, strong enough to break through their armor.
But there's nothing odd about them, no blood, so none of that drainage or any of that kind of thing.
They have their colouring. It just looks like a physical, actual stabbing with a whopping greatsword.
Okay, got it. I'll just use my rapier to kind of lift the body again, just to see if there's anything underneath, because it worked last time.
Yeah, make an investigation check for me, please.
That's a 16.
Almost magically, a notebook falls out of his pocket.
I shall pick up the notebook and immediately peruse its pages.
Yeah, most of it's sort of like shorthand for like it's basically logs and notes that he's made in his rounds. You do see that there is a note that says, keep an eye out for cotton, large white and black rabbit folk, considered dangerous. Report to Corporal Tire in the fog ring if seen.
I think he saw cotton.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think perhaps he didn't have time to report back. Right.
I think with that investigation check as well, you notice that the wound, the entrance is in the back of his back, and the exit is the front. So he was stabbed from behind.
Well, that's unpleasant. I'm going to actually put the notebook back, like just on the body, or tuck it into his coat or something, so that if they come to get him, they've got his notebook.
Yep, that's fine. Garrick, what did you roll on your roll?
17.
17. So you're kind of flicking through the office, looking for shifting. You're trained for looking for the things that are out of the ordinary. It's kind of your bread and butter. Like it's where you guys find what you need to survive in the city. So you notice the strange discoloration and the slight scraping behind the old cabinet. As if it can be moved.
Right. I'll sort of poke my head around the door and do a sort of a low whistle to get the attention of the other two, and just sort of do a. And then I'll go and check the cupboard just to see if it's like got any traps or any trip wires or anything that might make a bell jangle somewhere.
Yep. I think
While you're doing that, Rock's just going to go, what are you doing?
This cupboard can move. Look at the floor.
No, I get that. But what are you feeling for?
Oh, well, people in my line of work are a bit, how should we say, paranoid, and they will often leave little like things behind to alert them if other people are coming, like bells, or sometimes if they're really nasty, it's like a big old swinging axe that's gonna straight into you. So yeah, it's always wise to just check.
Very wise. I'm going to put my hand out like a parent and move Eugene and I back.
Does Eugene allow this to happen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Garrick, yeah, I'll have a second investigation check, but it is lower DC because of how successful you were with your initial.
13.
13, yeah, that's enough. There was a tripwire. It is now inactive and has been cut.
Interesting.
In fact, there's something very familiar about the way it was cut. It's exactly the way you would do it.
Right. So either I've been here before, or the thing that made Mir really bad and horrible is also using Mir's skills, because Mir and I basically know how to do things the same way.
Well, maybe it was Mir.
I mean, it could be Mir, but I don't know. It seemed that bad Mir is a bit more feral, so I didn't anticipate that they would be able to use the same. Like, anyway, we can go down and it won't cause a ruckus or a decapitation. So
That's a relief.
and I'll open up the cupboard.
Yeah, you pull it and it kind of slides, and you kind of pull it back, and there's actually a little bit of a catch, and you find it almost instantaneously where it is, and you just pull it forward, and it swings out. And you notice this cupboard is against a wooden door that has been painted to look like the outside of the building, and behind it is a small corridor which leads to a hole, like a dugout hole with a ladder.
Right. Okay. I'll go first. And I'll give you a little whistle if things are okay. How's that sound?
Okay.
Yeah?
Well, I'm not going first.
Exactly. That was my assumption. I didn't. Anyway, Garrick will start nimbling his way down the ladder, going as stealthy as possible.
Cool. I'll need a new stealth check for that one because you've stopped to do other things.
24.
I mean, the two of you blink and Garrick disappears. So he kind of rolls into the shadows and just seems to naturally blend. And you sort of see a movement as he disappears down the ladder. How far down are you going?
I'm going at a slow pace and just keeping an eye out for any light sources that might. But I'm heading towards the bottom. If there's nothing that stops me, then I'm.
So at the bottom, you find that it has someone has indeed dug out an old tunnel, which seems to kind of go into like parts of what looks like an older part of the city that has been built over in the more like over the last couple of centuries. A strange opening area that looks like it has strange writing on it that you definitely don't recognise, and some broken statues, and it goes further back.
Well, I'm just double checking, but Garrick does not have dark vision, so it's pitch black in here, I assume, and so therefore he's just gotten to the bottom of the hole.
Yeah, no problem. It is very dark, but there are a couple of ever lanterns have been set by someone.
I'll do a sort of a low whistle up to the others.
You guys hear a very low whistle.
I'm just going to look at Eugene and go, is that the signal? Is that safe?
I hope so.
Okay. Right. Let's go down the ladder.
Wait, before we go, I'm going to message Pocket telepathically and tell him to come with us.
I mean, you can snap your fingers and make him reappear next to you if you want to.
Okay.
Just...
Are you ready now?
Yeah. Let's go. You can go first.
That's very kind of you. I am going to go first down the ladder.
Down you go. You find yourself in a slightly familiar-looking structure. You find yourself in what looks like a very old, abandoned temple.
Can I tell what kind of temple or anything about it?
Religion check, if you would.
Ooh, religion. That's a 17.
A 17. It is dedicated to... It isn't dedicated to a god you recognise. You think that it is dedicated to one of the lords of the subrealms outside. It is what would be classed as a dark temple. Bearing in mind what I said earlier, not all demons are evil.
Yeah.
Some of them are actually relatively benevolent. But worshipping them and drawing their attention is still a little bit... However, I think you know this from storytelling and your histories, and that towards the end, with the war with the Fae, people got desperate and they literally reached out anywhere they could to get help. And so worshipping some of the denizens of the outer planes and the subplanes became quite common, as particularly among common people, not common people, but about people who weren't wizards and clerics and things like that. It's like anything to help protect me and my family.
Sure.
This one is dedicated to... You don't know a lot of them, obviously, and it probably falls more under Eugene's purview than yours, but you do know a few names. This is not familiar. This is something forgotten.
Okay. I shall try and just keep an eye on Eugene coming down. And when they're down, I'm going to just edge over and join Garrick.
Are the ever lanterns attached to the walls?
They are rammed into the walls as if on spikes.
Okay, I'll try and remove one.
Yeah.
Like, maybe Eugene, do you want to hold this?
Oh, I don't need a lantern.
I could do with a lantern.
Okay, there we are.
Thank you.
But thanks.
Just a quick question for you all. Can I ask what your passive perceptions are? 10, okay.
12 for me.
12.
11.
11. Rock, I would like you to make a perception check.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Perception is a 13.
13, awesome. That was just basically because Rock is the best hearing of all of you. Rock, you hear voices. 3 voices to be precise, exchanging, and you can't quite make out the words from here, but they are coming from the corridor.
Can I tell if they're coming towards us or if they're just static?
They're static. I think with that you can tell they're not getting any closer.
Okay, so I will just very quickly gesture to both Eugene and Garrick and kind of go, shh, shh, shh. There are people down there.
As soon as Rock points it out, you guys can make out the murmur of 3 different voices.
I should take my pistol out and just keep it ready.
Garrick is going to very quickly sort of slink to the side of the tunnel and make a sort of like, wait here. I'll go look gesture.
I think we'll let your stealth carry over from before, because you haven't done anything that would draw attention really. So you kind of slink through the shadows and that, and you get closer. And I think as you get closer, you can make out 3 distinct voices, and you can probably make out what they're saying. The first one is like, I don't care what mystery you think this unpicks or whatever. It's clearly evidence and we need to get rid of it. And the second voice goes, that's your problem, is you never look at things from a complete perspective. This is something new. They are clearly trying to recreate what we did. That's not good. And the third voice goes, well, if I can cut into the pair of you, I would like to know exactly what I'm supposed to tell the boss. You dragged me down here to show me this. I'm here. The boss will want to know what we're supposed to do. You two are supposed to be the expert. You two are involved in sorting this all out. I'm just the middleman.
Do I recognise any of the voices?
You do recognise one of them.
Cotton.
It's Cotton.
Is there a way that I can sneak enough to just take a peek at them?
Yeah, you don't have your lantern on you, do you?
No. Well, I have it on me, but I don't have it on.
So you don't have it on. Okay, excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can sneak through the shadows easily enough and get closer. This corridor kind of breaks into like an old cave type network, really, and you kind of keep following the voice and you come round and it opens up into an area. you are about to step out when you realise they'll have a clear view of where you'll be, so you sneak back round. So you can't get a clear look at the moment, but you get the briefest sense that there's a broader room, and you see 3 figures standing around something else on the floor.
Right. One of them cotton. What do the other 2 look like?
You don't get a close enough look to, because you literally shit, and bounce back before you can sort of sneak. But if you wait for you kind of get the impression they're both smaller and definitely like human sort of size.
Right. Okay. I'll sort of sneak my way back to the other 2 and sort of. So, I found Cotton. He's there. I also found 2 other people that I don't really recognise. They were talking about recreating the experiment. What should I tell the boss? You guys dragged me down here. It's all a bit.
Well, that kind of fits with what we know about there being some bigger boss who commissioned things. And Eugene, you said something about the Farkas person being the only other person you think who could create that experiment thing. So perhaps one of them is Farkas.
That makes sense.
But what was that about recreating the experiment? Like, it must have been done in the first place.
Well, perhaps that's why things have been going wrong. Because someone tried to recreate things.
Make an insight check, please, Jakey, for Garrick.
Yeah. Oh, that's a 4. Very strong 4, but it was a 4.
Not your strong suit. No, no. It's a lot of information kind of been dumped into poor Garrick at the same time.
So what are we going to do?
Well, my instinct is to go in there and stab the rabbit, but I'm also aware that instinct makes you uncomfortable. So I'm happy to discuss options.
Should we try and get a bit more information from them? Do you think we can spy on them a bit more?
I can try. There was also something on the floor I didn't get a clear look at, so it might have been your friend, but they weren't. I don't know. Didn't look at alive or dead.
Oh no. Okay. Wait. What if we? What about Pocket? Can Pocket go and hear what they're saying, or is that difficult? Or
I think Pocket will definitely be less noticeable than me.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, certainly less noticeable than me. Can we do that? Can you see if Pocket can find out anything more?
Yeah. I take Pocket down from my shoulder and pop him on the ground. I'm gonna have to do the mind thing though. I won't be able to.
Okay, that's fine. But you can come back quickly, can't you?
Yeah, I can come back.
Good.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. Do that. Do the thing.
Okay. He sits down, does the thing.
I'm definitely going to move him back.
He comes back. He comes back for a second, and he says to Garrick, "Please, personal space. We need to have a chat about personal space."
Okay. How much is personal space? Is it a foot? Is it 3 foot? Is it 5 foot? I just need to know.
He's already gone.
If you're in melee range, it's personal space.
Eugene's personal space is probably 2 feet larger than most people's personal space.
So Pocket bounced down the corridor. You guys watch as this white and grey rat kind of scurries very quickly down the path where Garrick came from. They slink close to the wall as rats are wont to do, getting into the wedges and burrows of the carved passage, and come round the corner. And I will describe what you see. You are faced with a large open chasm, a room that has been carved out in part, but actually looks like a natural cave in other places. A number of barrels and boxes lay around the outer area, and this is clearly a space that has been used for storage. Towards the north of the chamber, there is an alchemical bench with lots of tools. There is a pool of clear natural water, which Klauskern obviously is well renowned for having throughout its city, which is clearly one of the reasons this place has been used. There are marks all over the place, some of them looking like they are absolutely ancient, possibly older than Klauskern. Familiar runes and things like that indicating that this was a temple of such. 3 figures stand around in the centre of the room around a familiar looking painted magic circle with different runes. In the centre of it lays the still form of your friend Aisling. As you watch, there are 2 humans and 1 very large rabbit folk. The rabbit folk is leaning on a whopping huge greatsword and looks impatient. The human is looking at the runes around the circle and is trying to kind of get closer and see what they can do without disturbing it. The third figure is a rough-looking female dressed in leathers with a short haircut, a scarf pulled up to her eyes. Looks like she's got more daggers than teeth from where you are standing. And she tuts impatiently as the other 2 argue about what they're going to do. It looks like Cotton wants to kill Aisling. And Farkas is stopping him from doing so because he wants to understand what is going on.
Okay. So you said the rune circle was familiar looking. Can I tell what it is?
Yeah, make an Arcana check for me, please.
16.
16. It is a summoning circle. It is not dissimilar from the one that you found in the temple in the sewers. It is a similar idea with different applications. Whereas that circle was designed to bring something from the realm of she who stands beyond the veil. This one is designed to bring a soul and place it in a body.
Okay. Bad news. Okay, at this point I think I'm going to come back to my body.
I think this time both of us are like that.
Whoa.
What did you see?
Okay, so Aisling's in there, and we need to hurry because I think the rabbit wants to kill her.
Okay,
So
right.
the rabbit guy, the Farkas, and someone else. I don't know who they are, but they had a lot of pointy things. So probably not very friendly. But
Knives?
yes, knives. But yeah, they're casting a summoning thing, a summoning circle. Aisling's in the middle. We have to go. We
Right.
I'm going to interrupt for a quick insight from Eugene, actually, if you wouldn't mind.
Mm-hmm. Six.
Okay, no worries.
Right.
Sorry, everyone.
Right. It's the dice. The dice tells the stories.
Yeah.
Right. But we have to get in there. We have to stop Aisling.
Okay, so what's the plan?
Can you? Well, we attack.
That's a great plan, but
Okay, come on then.
what? No. Like, I don't know what you guys can do. I can stab things. That's what I do. So I can get in there and stab, but there's 3 of them, and I need to know what you can do to make sure that we're all in the right place at the right time and not all being stabbed.
I can tell stories.
Oh, is this what people usually do before they start a fight? We just sort of go in there.
I mean, it depends on whether you know the fight's going to happen or not. Like,
Wait! The rabbit, the big rabbit. Would it help you if you could get closer to him without him knowing you're there?
I mean, potentially, yeah.
Could you surprise him and do a lot of damage?
Yeah.
Says Rock with an educated gesture. Do a lot of damage. Stabby stuff.
Yeah. As long, well, yeah.
Okay. So I don't have a plan exactly, but how about if I make you invisible, and then you can get really close and stabby, and then
Wait, you can do that?
I can, and then as soon as you do that, I
Why
will.
haven't we done this already?
Because it's never come up.
Okay.
And then
Now's not the time.
when you stab me, and then I can do something else to maybe attract the other's attention this way while you fight the rabbit.
Yeah, I mean,
There's a bit of a problem there, because once they come this way, not to put too fine a point on it, but Eugene and I are not terribly fighty.
right. So it's me versus 3 people.
No.
Is
We'll attract 2 this way, because you'll have that one's attention if you stab him in the fluffy tail or whatever.
Oh, that tail is.
You seem pretty eager to do that.
Yeah. Okay. So invisible sounds great.
Great.
I'm a bit wary of this third person with all the knives, though. But hey, we'll just see how it goes.
We have to go.
You've got some
Yeah, we
spells,
do,
Eugene.
we do.
You can do stuff to them. Okay, come on. Wait, and I'm going to touch. I'm going to put my hand on Garrick's head, and I am going to cast invisibility.
How does invisibility manifest for Rock?
Invisibility, literally the same as a lot of my stuff. It almost looks like there's like a shimmer of sort of waves of reality around, and then they literally just disappear into like a vaguely green kind of effect.
Eugene is watching with awe.
Garrick is also watching, but you can't see him anymore. So
Eugene sort of says to where he thinks Garrick was, this doesn't mean you can get in my personal space. Just because I can't see you.
All right, there's no time for that now. Garrick, are you still here?
I'm just going to say, I guess the signal's going to be a loud squeal from a rabbit folk. Okay.
I would imagine. Now let's move forward. Come on, quietly.
So I will stealth my way to behind.
I think all 3 of you will need a stealth check. Obviously, Garrick, you are doing it with advantage.
Stealth. Okay.
17.
17, nice.
16 for me.
16, yep.
18.
18, excellent. You all fairly convinced you are quite quiet. You can barely hear each other, let alone expect them in a completely different room to hear you coming. And you make your way up the corridor. Now, Garrick, you can actually walk straight up because no one can see you. And you see the room that I described to Theo. And in the middle of it, you kind of do notice that some sort of agreement has been made. And it looks like Cotton is lifting up his greatsword and is making his way towards where the Satyr is lying.
Okay, well, I'm going to rush in and, with my short sword, stab him in the rib because he's got his arms up with the sword. I'm going for the bit there.
Amazing. If you would like to roll me an attack roll with advantage.
Of course, always. That is a 23.
23 will definitely hit, and if you can roll damage, and yes, you may add your sneak attack.
Yay. That is 4 plus 3, so that is a lot.
Sorry.
11.
Sorry,
Simple math. 11.
11 damage.
Yes.
Amazing. You guys see as you kind of peel around the corner, this rabbit folk is lifting his sword up to bring it down on Aisling, and as he does, there's this pearl of blood pooling through his fur, This is the largest rabbit folk you have ever seen. He must be about 6.5 foot without his ears, which go up another foot afterwards. He is muscular. He is large. He has bright red eyes which look malicious with intent. He has sharpened the edge of his teeth into dagger-like points. He's wearing very little apart from like a rugged harness to hold, which on the back of which has a large battle axe, and in his hand he's got a huge double-handed greatsword. Other than that, he's wearing loose-fitting trousers and nothing on his feet. You watch as his black and white fur, the white suddenly gets, like black gets much darker and the white suddenly starts to pull out, and you see the magic shimmer away as you watch Garrick's very determined face with his hand and this, on this short sword riding into this person's ribs. And I would like you all to roll initiative.
Yes.
Oh boy.
I'm just going to swap you over so you are on the map.
Awesome.
And I should change. There we go.
Oh no. Actually.
Just a quick shout out. This map was created by Dungeon Baker, who does absolutely stonking.
Yeah, their maps are amazing.
Yeah. So, initiative.
Oh god.
Start with Rock.
8.
Uh-oh.
Eugene.
6.
Oh.
Speedy. And Garrick.
23.
Amazing. Cool. Garrick, you are up first.
Excellent. So while there is a pained expression on this rabbit folk's face, I'm going to go in for a second strike with my short sword.
Amazing.
Not great. 14.
14. 14 will actually hit.
Yes! And because it's just me and him and a one-on-one thing, I get sneak attack, right? Because of my
you
thing.
do, because of the type of rogue you are.
Yes. So that's a 6 plus 7. So 12 plus 3 is 15.
No, 13 plus 3. 6 plus 7 is 13.
You're right. Yes.
16
Sorry.
damage.
13. Basic math, not my thing.
That's all right, no problem. You kind of lash into him again, and as Cotton just kind of is still in shock that you actually managed to sort of sneak up on him. He kind of looks down and he goes, "You!"
I'm going to go, "Come at me then!" And then run onto one of those boxes that I can see behind me.
Awesome. You can use Are you using your step work to get out of the way?
Yes, so he cannot attack me because I am sneaky.
He does actually try and attack you as you sneak away, but you just kind of swashbuckle out of the way. And bounce onto the box near there.
Yeah.
It is actually his turn.
Ooh.
And he is going to charge at you, funnily enough. And he is going to take 2 attacks.
Bye, guys.
First one misses. Second one is a 12, which I don't think is enough for you.
No, 12 will not hit.
Okay, you are fine. You're just dodging. He's still off the back foot basically, and he's bellowing at you in anger.
And I'd imagine he's quite sore.
Yep. The simple plain robed looking character behind Cotton kind of looks over and goes, Oh no. Well, do your job and protect me. And kind of waves magic runes in the air and throws them. And you watch as, probably in horror, as Cotton's muscles bulge and swell, and he doubles in size.
Oh my god.
And then
Swole bunny.
he will 2, 3, 4, 5 do the sorcery thing and hide behind some boxes.
I know it well.
That will make it Rock's go.
I'm guessing it's too late to try a disguise kit.
You can spend your action putting on a disguise. I think they may be onto you though.
But also, how good is your makeup in 6 seconds? Let's be honest.
I am a thespian. It's very okay, so for my bonus action, I am going to... Oh, can I? Yes.
Actually, Rock's makeup is terrible, but we love him anyway.
No, no, it's fine. I'm going to use my bardic inspiration for... actually, I'll do it for Garrick.
Yeah. What's the range on that? Is that 30 feet?
60 feet.
60 feet. Nice. Yeah, that's easy. Yeah.
Cool. And then for my action, where are they? There's the giant idiot bunny. There we go. So I'm just looking at distances. Oh, crap. I don't know what to do. Okay. Well. Sorry, decisions.
No, right. No, you are fine, sweetie. No problem at all.
Okay, so I am going to cast Dissonant Whispers at Bunny Boy.
Dissonant Whispers? It's a wisdom saving throw, isn't it, that one?
It is indeed, yes.
As you can imagine, that's one of his strong suits.
That's what I'm hoping.
He rolls a 15.
Shit, passes. So
you kind of whisper your the words in the air, and they kind of start to form around him, but he's just too angry at Garrick right now to and just shrugs it right off.
And I don't think he takes anything if he passes. No,
he doesn't, I'm afraid. It's a cantrip, isn't it? Not the...
No, Dissonant Whispers is a first level
spell. Yeah, okay, cool.
But, let me just check that, sorry. On a failed save, it takes 3d6. Yeah, that's it. Okay. Do I need to...
On a successful save, the target takes half as much damage and doesn't have to move away.
There we go. There we go. Thanks, Jakey.
Does it?
Right.
Yeah, so you roll your damage
just
anyway.
Check where that is. Oh, yes, I beg your pardon. I just missed that entire part of the sentence. So 3d6. 3d6. 4, and 4. So that's 12, so 6 points of damage.
6 points of damage, excellent. It's nice when it's simple maths.
Especially for me.
Cool. Bonus action, Bardic Inspiration spell for your action. You do have your movement if you wish to take it.
Yeah, I'm going to move forward a little bit towards Aisling.
Yep.
But I want to also just stay between... Actually, I'm going to move there. So I'm kind of between Eugene and the others.
Lovely. That will make it the strange woman's go. She looks at the situation in hand, realizes that Rock is clearly a spellcaster and therefore trouble, and will charge towards Rock and strike at him with a nasty-looking scimitar. With a 25 to hit, it's a natural 20, I'm afraid.
Oh my god. Okay, bye. It's going to be the worst rescue ever because I'm going to die.
Doing... Hang on. Something fun happened. 10... What's it done there? That's weird. I'm going to do it the old-fashioned way. So it's...
The suspense.
Sorry, guys.
Killing me.
That doesn't look right to me. That is... It says... Well, I'm going to figure it out myself. Doing 13 points of slashing damage to you. Because for some reason it seems to... Damage does a scimitar do? Yeah. So that is her go. And that will make it Eugene's go, whilst I quickly look up this.
Right. Just a quick question.
Yeah.
How much does Eugene know about this ritual circle? Like, would he know if it's safe to move Aisling or disturb the circle?
You would probably need to spend an action next to it to check it out, because it has a passing resemblance to the one that you saw before, but it's not exactly the same, and you haven't actually interacted with one that's live like this before.
Right. Okay.
The other one was active in terms of it was holding the spirits in place, whereas this one is like you're not entirely certain what it's doing yet.
Okay. Okay, we'll play it safe with that then and not disturb the circle. Eugene will cast Firebolt, please.
Excellent. Where would you like to cast Firebolt?
Oh yeah, we'll go for the pointy lady.
The pointy
that's
lady.
attacking Rock.
Yep, no worries. Roll damage for you.
That's 24 to hit.
24 will hit.
Jeez.
And that will be 7 damage.
7 damage, nice. For Garrick's benefit, who is probably the only person who hasn't seen this yet, what does your magic look like?
So Firebolt. So Eugene kind of concentrates and makes some symbols with his hands in front of him, and starts to kind of glow purple, and kind of towards the ceiling above you, like a small circle opens, like a portal, and around it, the edges glow like a really bright purple, and it gradually gets a little larger, and from within it, sort of a rain of purple fire comes through the hole. And
ooh, sexy.
It does a not inconsiderable amount of damage. This woman actually looks like she takes like the full brunt of this. When she stands back up afterwards, one of her arms is looking very badly burnt. The cloth around her face is broken away, and you can see that she's charred underneath. Not happy.
in his best, like, intimidating voice, Eugene is going to say, "Stay away from my friends."
Nice. Top of the round.
But he's not going to get any closer.
That's fine. Do you want to make any movement at all? Or you?
Yeah, maybe I'll just move a little closer here.
Nice. Yeah, top of the round, and that will make it Garrick's go.
Yes. So Garrick is going to run over. He's very conscious that he doesn't want this very large rabbit folk to suddenly be attracted to the squishy spellcasters. So he's going to run to the other side of the rabbit, and then go for a little stabby stab,
Lovely.
which is an 18.
18 will hit.
Lovely.
He's actually easier to hit now.
Yay. So for the sword, it is 1, and then for the sneak attack, it is 7. So 8 plus 3 is 11 points of damage as I stab away.
Nice. Yeah, you kind of like his fur is starting to get red in lots of different places now. There's definitely he is starting to feel it. You think?
So once I've done the stab, I'm going to then back away, like towards the back of the cave to try and draw him my way,
Nice.
and he can't attack me. Mahaha.
He tries. He fails. You just kind of ha! Errol Flynn your way backwards.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Swashbucklers are fun. That will make it his go. He is. He's gonna jump,
Oh no.
and I need you to make a dexterity saving throw as he jumps.
Okay.
He like bounds down, and you see him make this mighty leap forward, and crashes down onto your space.
No, 19.
19. You manage to roll away. You do take 3 points of bludgeoning damage as debris just kind of smashes into you. And he will then make an attack with his great axe, with his great sword. 19 to hit.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Doing 9 points of slashing damage.
Ouch.
And again, misses this time. Kind of goes too far and can't swing back in time. You kind of duck out the way. That will then make it the spellcasters go. Who, looking at the situation, will point a finger at Rock, and I need Rock to make a wisdom saving throw, please.
Boy. Wisdom savings. Oof. 15.
15. You pass. You feel like magic trying to push its way into your brain, and as it kind of breaks, you kind of shake it off, and you kind of hear this person swear under their breath and then duck down. They will bonus action cower. And that does make it Rock's go.
Okay, so I am going to. Sorry, just
No problem.
check.
It'll be the bandit's
Okay.
turn and then Eugene's after that, so you know.
As my bonus action, I am going to. Sorry.
it's fine.
I have to use an action for a healing potion, correct?
If you're using it on yourself, it's a bonus action. If you're
Okay,
using it
so-
on a fellow, it is full action. If you
Okay.
use it out of combat, you don't need to roll, you just take the full amount.
So I will use the one of the healing potions that I have,
Yep.
and that's standard potion, I believe, which is 2d4 plus 2.
That's fine. Heal those wounds.
4 and 3, which is great. So 7 plus 2 is 9.
9 points of healing. Well done.
Okay, so that's desperately needed. Okay, and then for my action, I am going to Do I get disadvantage with my pistol at short range?
You do, yeah, because you're not a pistol master.
No. Okay, so in which case I will just remove my rapier and I shall unsheath it, and in one swing from unsheath I shall strike straight across on an up strike at the woman in front of me.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. Rapier. 16 to hit.
16 will hit.
Awesome. 1d8 plus 6 points of damage.
Describe your kill.
Whoa.
So literally, I reached for my rapier and unsheath it in one swing. Like there's not even a hesitation, just one upswing like that, and it literally just slices straight through her torso sideways, and she just collapses. It's just a very smooth, sharp one stroke, and she drops.
Yeah, it's almost samurai-esque, but ironically with not a very Western weapon. As you see Rock just kind of literally leap out with this sharp blade, and this little line of blood follows the path of it, and then she just collapses. From Garrick, from where you stand, it kind of looks like he's just kind of drawn a line.
I respect it. I'm down.
Eugene, you just...
I step back and go as the blood starts to pool.
I don't respect that as much.
No.
She's dead.
Thank God for
That.
And then for my movement, can I please move to Ashling?
Yes, you can. Do you want to step onto the spell circle?
Would that not be a good idea?
Just, you are aware that magic circles do things?
Yeah, no, I think I would have run up and been very close to doing so, but would have stopped outside the magic circle
Cool.
and kind of looked at Eugene for any indication.
Yeah, Eugene is like.
Okay.
Excellent. Yeah. Checking with your mates is a free action.
And that's it.
That's it. Awesome. The bandit is dead. They are an ex-bandit, which makes it straight round to Eugene. It is your go.
Okay, how far away am I? Okay, I'm gonna need to get a bit closer, I think. Oh no. Well, let's go for magic missile, but I'll cast it at 2nd level.
2nd level magic missile. Nice.
Nice.
So I don't have to roll for that, do I? It just
You don't. Automatically
happens.
hits. Who is your target?
Cotton.
Cotton. Okay.
Yeah.
Go for it.
So that's 2, 5, 7, and then again extra 1 because it's at 6. So that will be 10 damage altogether.
10 damage. 10 mystical damage. What does your magic missile look like?
I think it's so in my mind it's like you know those like toy rockets that you like set off from the ground and then they like so it's kind of like that. So he bends down quickly and like it's almost like he's lighting a match and then this like kind of purple little like rocket appears on the ground. He lights the thing and then
I love this
amazing.
I love this idea that your Uncle Perb was trying to explain how magic missiles work to kind of get the final details, and in Eugene's head it was like fireworks, like fireworks.
It's like a bottle rocket. Look, whee!
And I think they do. Do they have like a little tiny bit of a sparkle when they explode?
yeah. Like like a tiny firework.
Amazing. That's beautiful. I love it. That's brilliant. Excellent. So that's your action. Do you want to? Have you got anything you would like to do with your bonus action?
No, but I will also move closer to Aisling, along with Rock.
Garrick, it is your go.
Yep. So Garrick is going to do same old stab and run. That's what he's good at. So third strike is an 11, but I still have my bardic inspiration, which I'm going to the D6, right, Wayne?
It is.
I think it is at your level.
Yeah.
Yep, it's a D6.
11 plus 6, so 17.
17. That will hit.
Excellent.
Awesome. So you kind of drive your sword in. What's the inspiration that you take from Rock?
Well, it's the slashing and death that he just instilled upon that poor bandit.
Nice.
I was like, yeah. Oh no, he's quite cool. He kills people. He's one of us. So I do.
A murderer.
I am so innocent.
Another 11 points of damage.
Another 11 points of damage. He is still standing.
Bear with. Because of my motive potential bardic inspiration, when used for an attack roll, the target and each creature of my choice that I can see within 5 feet of it must succeed on a Constitution saving throw or to take thunder damage equal to the number rolled on the inspiration die. So what did you roll?
I rolled a 6.
Okay.
What's your spell DC, Rock?
For the Constitution saving throw, it's 30.
He rolls a 14, so he just saves. That's
Fair
really
enough.
nasty. Though. You do see this kind of. Did you want to explain how the moat looks?
Oh, it's just a tiny floating, sort of like a little floating spark that floats around Garrick. And when he takes that, it literally just flies from him. And it looks like a tiny little spark that would do nothing. But as it hits Cotton, there's like waves of energy that
Normally, that would probably do a lot of damage, but Cotton is just too big at the moment.
It just looks like a breeze blowing through his fur.
Cool. Anything else of your turn, Garrick?
Yeah, Garrick's going to back up to the edge of the cave. Still like, yeah, come and get me, meh.
So, we're going to do a quick wisdom check. It's good. Cotton is a survivor, and he reads the situation, and he knows that he is not going to do well in this. So, instead of bleeding to death at the hands of this halfling, who's been a thorn in his side for a while, he is going to try and run away. By doing so, he's going to move 10 feet this way. Then he's going to leap over Eugene and Rock and peg it for the exit.
Do we get an attack of opportunity?
No, because he literally leaps over you out of your sword range. He uses the herring gun ability of jumping. Jumping good. And you hear a cry of disappointment from the poor bloke who's left behind. Poor Farkas is like, you coward! And it is his go. He will... you, halfling! And I need you to make a wisdom saving throw, please.
Oh, God.
Uh-oh. Okay. Oof, it was a very, very strong 2.
That's very, very strong too. You watch from where I think from where you stand. You guys watch as this giant herringon kind of leaps over you. You're like, "Oh my god, is he going to crush us?" And he just kind of bounds away. And as you watch him, he starts to shrink. But you sort of see this wizard kind of reach out and grip and cast Hold Person on Garrick. You feel like you are literally held in his hand. You are paralyzed.
Petrificus totalis.
Yeah.
And it will turn to the other two. He goes, "Let me go or I'll kill your friend now." And that will make it Rock's go.
Okay. Okay. I'm going to... where is he? Sorry, just looking at distances.
40 foot.
Okay, so I'm going to move around the circle to there. And just kind of walk towards him non-threateningly and just kind of say, "There's no need to hurt anybody else. This has gone far enough." And then I'm going to cast Tasha's Hideous Laughter.
Okay, he needs to make a wisdom saving throw.
Yeah.
It's a 20.
Oh, boo.
He does see where you can see him steel himself as the magic tries to kind of take hold of him, but he resists.
Okay. I am literally just going to say to him, "I just want my friend back," and that's it for my turn.
Eugene, it is your go.
Kill him, Eugene. Join us. Join us.
Okay.
Oops, spell slot.
What do you think, Eugene?
I think Eugene is going to move closer. And he will... I think we'll just cast Fireball at him.
Okay, yeah. Make an attack roll, please.
15.
15 will hit.
Come on, Eugene.
Yes. Smoke him.
6 damage.
6 damage. Amazing. And he needs to make a Constitution saving throw.
Fail.
He holds on to his spell.
God damn it.
And cool. It is Garrick's go. You can make a wisdom saving throw on your go.
I'll do my best. Whoop, I was on the floor. That's an 11.
11 is not enough, I'm afraid. You are still paralyzed and held by this person. However, it is his go. So you hear scrambling as Cotton just pegs it up the corridor. He is out of the combat. The cultist kind of looks around at the three of you and will point at Garrick with light. I need you to make a dexterity save. Oh, I think you automatically fail.
I auto fail, I think.
Yeah, so he whispers a word. and you take 6 points of radiant damage as the floor beneath you just bursts into fire.
Ouch.
I mean it! Let me go or I'll kill him! That will make it Rock's go.
Okay, I am going to say... I'm going to talk directly to him and just say, this has all gone far enough. We know that things have happened that are out of your control. We also know that people are getting hurt, and we want to stop this. You have our friend, and we are looking for another friend. Right now, there are 3 of us, and you are in the corner of an underground cave. I don't think this is a very sensible way to go about this. From what we overheard, I get the feeling you are just trying to find out what happened too.
I would like you to make a persuasion check. Or an intimidation check, depending on what you feel that Rock is trying to do.
No persuasion. 18.
18. I think that you watch as tears well up in this person's eyes and start to roll down their cheeks. They are trembling. And we'll find out exactly how they respond on their turn. Eugene, you see the same thing and you hear Rock's words. What would you like to do?
I think Eugene seeing the emotion in this person wouldn't attack him further, so I'd like to hold my action if I can.
End of Garrick's go, you can make another wisdom save.
Let's see, I'm not very wise. That's a 10.
No. However, at the end, as you kind of try and force yourself against it, you do feel that hand around you loosen. And you guys watch as Farkas literally just collapses and starts sobbing uncontrollably.
Are we out of initiative order?
You are now out of combat.
I will immediately turn to Eugene. I'm just ignoring Farkas. I will immediately turn to Eugene and say, we have to help Aisling. What do we do?
We have our best bet is him. I don't know exactly how the spell works. We have to get him to stop it.
You Farkas person.
Please, we just want to help our friend. How is she okay? Can we?
I didn't. This isn't my circle. My circle was. This is, and he kind of. They get up and kind of hold their hands up and kind of to look like they and they walk towards the circle, looking like, and they're still crying and trying to rub their eyes. And I didn't want any of this. I was told that if I helped, they would find a cure for my mother.
That's terribly sad. But whose circle is it?
He kind of looks down. And he goes, "It's like mine. It's supposed to draw energy from. Have you ever heard of the Alabaster Throne?"
Have I ever heard
Have I?
I would like a religion or arcana check off of you two.
12.
12.
23
23.
for Arcana.
You haven't heard of it, but it does sound like one of those, one of those shadow realms on the outside. It's not one that you have read in any of your books. It seems weird and different, but the imagery like you've seen about, it kind of ties to this idea of death and rebirth. Like Brother Moon, She Who Exists Beyond the Veil, the Alabaster Throne. These are all lands of death and rebirth. And that's where I think you kind of get this impression. This ritual is designed to trap a soul and bring it to this side. In this instance, to put it in a vessel.
Can you dispel it? If you know what this kind of circle is, can you dispel it? Just stop it where it is now.
Farkas kind of looks at Eugene and goes, "Help me."
Yeah, of course. What do you need me to do?
And they kneel down by the circle and just kind of, I need you to burn this at the same time I burn that side. Is that okay?
Yeah.
And they kind of go to the other side and they kind of look and you go, I'll count 3 and we'll do it. 3, 2, 1. One last Arcana check from Eugene, please.
22.
Oh. You watch as the strange glow on this circle falls away and the circle just kind of goes dark, and you watch as Aisling's breathing starts
Thank God.
again and her eyes flicker open, and not to put words in Aisling's mouth, but I'm pretty sure I know Charlie enough to go for her to go, "What the bloody hell's going on?"
Rock will immediately literally throw himself over Aisling.
Yeah.
And the three of you, Garrick, I think you watch as the three of them hug a very confused looking Satyr and her 2 friends.
Eugene's definitely crying.
Yeah, I was going to say, Rock is crying, but pretending not to cry. And he will also look back at Garrick and just say, thank you for helping us. We will help you find your friend.
Thank you.
That is a perfect place to end tonight's episode, or today's episode.
Yay, we got Aisling back!
Well done, guys. You have solved my kidnapped Satyr problem. So guys, thank you so much for everybody who dropped by, particularly Charlie, who has been in chat for most of the episode.
It was like a voice from beyond the
Certainly willing us very heavily to get Aisling back. Charlie's mum, the amazing Colleen, who gets up at a ridiculous time in the morning to come and watch us. Thank you so much, it's very appreciated. And everybody else who drops by, and particularly those who come by later in the week, because I know that obviously 3 hours stream is not easy for everybody to watch every fortnight, but it is very much appreciated. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go around and give a chance for all my wonderful players to sort of tell you where they can find you, what they're up to, and if they have anybody they'd like you to pop past and see, they can give them a shout out as well. Starting with our wonderful guest, Jakey. Thank you so much for joining us. This has been absolutely amazing. Where can these
Thank you for having me.
No, absolute pleasure. Thank you for stepping up. Jakey will actually be back with us for the next episode.
Yay!
For more shenanigans. So, and we'll actually get to see how Garrick and Aisling respond to each other, which will be interesting.
God.
I have a feeling we're going to get on. It's going to be great.
Dear.
Rock is already exasperated.
Jakey, where can people find you, and anything else you'd like to share with?
This assumes that I want to be found, Chris.
If you do want to
like
be found,
Garrick,
yes.
No. You can find me on Instagram at jakey.champion. It's mostly just, nonsense, but that's just all of Instagram, right?
Mm-hmm.
Standard.
Exactly. I think that's more than fair. Yeah. Excellent. I think we're going to go, as I see it on my screen, because obviously everyone has a different screen. We're going to go clockwise, which means it's Rock Wayne, if you'd like to.
Thank you. You can find me on all the socials as, most of the socials as WayneFick01, where I don't post very much, but I interact a lot. Yes, I just want to say, please do give the Chris Mepham RPG Twitch channel a follow if you are on Twitch and are interested. It would mean a lot to us as we try and build an audience and build a community that we can support and love and get to know and share some of this amazing stuff with. So please give us a follow on that. Thanks, Jakey, for joining us.
Amazing. Eugene, Theo, let them know where they can find you and what you're up to.
You can find me most places on the internet at theoblue.jpg. I just finished my website actually, so you can now find me at theoblueillustration.com, where all my links are on there. So if that's easy, you can just go there and find everything. I'm doing a lot at the moment, but it's in prep for some things later in the month. So I will be having a big shop update where I'll have lots of Halloween things, but that'll be towards the end of the month. But if you want to see any progress, you can check me out online.
Amazing. Speaking of websites, Wayne and I are going to work on ours sometime very soon so that you guys have got a simpler way to find everything related to Some Other Heroes, and me, actually, as well. I'm Chris Mepham. You can find me at Chris Mepham RPG on Twitter or Twitch, which obviously you know because you're here. Or you can find me at Chris Mepham Art, A-R-T, on Instagram, where I mainly post my illustration work as well. Some Other Heroes also has an Instagram account, which we would love you to go and follow, which is Some Other Heroes. Really easy to remember. And if you do miss any of the episodes at any one time, or you want to go back and watch what we've been up to since the beginning, including the two-part one-shot which started this all, you can find it all on our new YouTube channel, which is bit.ly/Some Other Heroes YT, which will take you straight through to the YouTube channel. Other than that, keep an eye on our socials because we give a shout out to other artists and streams that we are supporting. I did want to give a big shout out to Wicked Game, who have been amazing supporters of us. We're very, very excited to hear that Jakey was joining us because he's friends with them as well. They do amazing stuff. They are a few episodes ahead of us, but they are into their current new campaign, which is a mystery set around a lighthouse and a strange island. It's very good. We will be back in 2 weeks' time for the, possibly, depending on how they do, the final part of this murder mystery. Certainly back with our Ashling, Charlie, Vince.
Yeah.
Yay!
We miss you, Charlie.
We miss you a lot, and we're really glad you could come and join us. And hello to your lovely family as well. We've been Some Other Heroes. We love you lots. Have an amazing fortnight. Take care of yourselves and each other, and we will see you soon.